Let's see here. Welcome into the Turn Golf Podcast. It's felt like let me start over. Welcome into the Turn Golf Podcast. I'm Andrew Petters. It's been 3 weeks, but it's felt like 10 minutes. I've got a good friend of mine on here. No Joe Nicely tonight. Hopefully we'll get him back in a few weeks. We got football season. We've had fantasy football drafts. We had cars getting sold at the draft. We've had tour championships. We've had live debacle. We've had heart attacks. And now we got the model maniac.
I mean, that's the worst of them all, isn't it?
Yeah. Man, all right, so start of 20, this is our fourth season of this podcast. We started right off the revamp. Joe and I did back in 2020, coming off COVID-19. One thing, we might not be good at a lot of things in this world, but one thing we do, we've got prudence. Is that the right use for that word? Prudence? I don't know.
Persistence? I don't know.
Persistence? Yeah, whatever that word is. I should know. I went to college for like 9 years. So once again, I'm Andrew Petters. This is the Model Maniac. Our buddy Joe Nicely from Rotoballer.com, league golf editor up there, suffered a wild heart, out of the blue heart attack, and then still getting over that. Thoughts and prayers with him and his family. And it was a rough weekend. Trust me, it was a rough weekend here in Knoxville with that. Luckily, it happened that week and not the week before for our fantasy draft perspectives. I'm gonna throw that, yeah. But no. In all serious note, relay's okay, and let's just dive in here. 2023. It's been 3 weeks since the tour championship. Let's blow all that off. Let's get over the Live Tour. Who cares? Fourth season here with this podcast, the Turn Golf Podcast. Few things to get out of the way. Rotoballer.com is our title sponsor. Use the promo code TURN when signing up. We're starting a fresh year here. You got some fall swings, some new events, some non-cut events coming up. A good way to ease into DFS, sprinkle a little bit around. I know we got football season coming up, but we're deep into football season already. But this is for the guys that just love golf on Thursday, right? I mean,
we ain't easing in. We're
going full board. I'm gonna get to that. The reason the model's on here tonight is he went a little deep. He did a deep dive. We got about a week and a half's pay here on this article he's got out on rotoballer.com. Is it part of the free content or is it a premium piece? Part of the free content. Breaks down all of the KFT graduates that are coming up. And, we've got blood types, number of children, spouses. We're all in on this, whether they draw it, fade it, hit it good, hit it bad, put the lights out. Who cares? Maniac broke them down this article, which is great because, knowing these new guys coming out with full status here in the fall swing is a great advantage to the DFS player. Hop into that article. Like he said, free on rotoballer.com. So Fortinet Championship, fairly new event. It was born in 2007. It's hosted Silverado Country Club, the North Course, Napa, California. Past champions. I feel like it can be all over the place since it's a fall event. Fall events have just now gotten more and more popular in the last couple of years. We know it in the past as the Fries.com Open, Safeway Open. That's what the original two names were. Just to read off a few well-known names: Stuart Sink won here in 2020, Max Homa won last year, Kevin Tway, Cameron Champ, Brendan Steele, Grillo, Jimmy Walker might be in the field, Blix might be in the field. I'm not sure yet because this is the first look here. That's what we do here on the Turn. If you've never listened to us before, we give a first look into the DFS slate. Now I'm just here as a speaking head. Usually the guest is going to be the know-it-all, and I'll just throw in a couple of different opinions from time to time. But from the looks of things around here in the first look, we're going to have guys that hit it well and guys that hit it far. That's not going to be all the case, but that's what I see just on the past champions. board. Course, like I said, Silverado Country Resort and Spa on the North Course in Napa, California. Designed 1955 by Ben Harmon. Greens are classic Poana with a little bit of bent, or bent with a little bit of Poana, no matter, depending on what the season is. We got bent rye, tee boxes, Bermuda, Poana. It's just like a rigmarole of Poana and grass. Whatever we can get to grow out here in Napa, that's what we're going to have. Yeah. So anything you want to talk about the golf course before we get in? Poana is interesting, though. I will say that Poana is an interesting thing to look at because it's the most inconsistent grass from start to finish on the day. There might be some of that taken into perspective whenever you're looking at the showdown reports. Go ahead, Byron. Anything you want to say about the course?
Yeah. Just, I think there's going to be tons of birdies. I think if you look at the last 2 years, the scores have got a lot deeper. I think the guys have figured out distance. I think with the whole way the PGA Tour is going, distance seems like it's dismantling a lot of golf courses, and I think that's happening to this course too. You know, historically they weren't going as low as they have the last 2 years, so we can expect scores low again. And I do love that power aspect of it. I think the afternoon days are going to give them some wormies, you know, some snakes in the grass, so to speak, on the greens. So it gives you a good chance to maybe catch an outright that goes out early-ish in the morning, you know, that's only a few shots back on Sunday, or play some good showdown stuff. It's going to give us some edges for sure.
Absolutely. One thing, when you talked about the scores, tons of birdies, mid-teens to low 20s. We're going to see, 15 to 22 under, pretty much expected in this. And this is going to be the first elevated purse of the new season, 2022-2023 season. I'm looking forward to this year. This is going to be a very interesting year, I think. We're going to see a lot of new faces because, let's be honest, 20 to 40 guys that normally would be invited to these tournaments are not going to be playing in them. So I'm not talking about just on the fall swing. I'm talking about throughout the whole year. Interesting to see how things unfold going forward. But $8 million purse, up from $1 million last year. I know we usually see a little bit of a spike, but going from $7 million to $8 million purse. $1.44 million for the first place winner share. That's pretty good, man.
Good. Yeah.
Max Homa, defending champion. He's at the top. He's in the top 4 on DraftKings slate. Let's get right into this, Byron. Now, before we start, is it fair to say, even though recent form is going to always play a role in decision making, it's going to be a little bit weaker now because we've had we're not used to seeing everybody have 2 to 3 to 4 with 5, 6 weeks off.
Yeah.
And we're going to see that this week. So with saying that, all 4 of the guys in the 10,000 and above played in the Tour Championship. Matsuyama, Max, which I was at, by the way. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Max Homa, Corey Connors, and Thigala. Are we starting out here, or are you just diving deep right out of the gate in the KFT?
I'm going to go uber aggressive this week. So I might even start off just with the Hideki, get him in there a bit. He ranks out really good for me. I don't think he's going to be popular at all with Max right there by him and Corey Connors. I'm going to go with him. He ranks number 1 in my model. So I'm in. I know he's going to withdraw on me. I'm ready for it. I don't have to roster him too much because, I don't think he's going to be too popular, but he does everything we're looking for. His irons are fire, makes a bunch of birdies, kills the par 5s. And he played nicely in the Tour Championship. So he's coming back. I think Max is going to be popular for a reason. So I'm happy to go to Hideki. Gives the same upside as Max. Let's go.
Yeah, I agree. He's not going to be popular at all. I mean, I got to think Thigala is going to be the honey bear in this group just from everybody loves him. Everybody loves to play him. Everybody loves to cheer for him. Matsuyama is impressive in person to watch strike a golf ball. It's very impressive. Also, what I'll say is impressive is he's not big, but he is one of the bigger guys in the elite fields. And what I mean by that is stature. Broad shoulders, thick body type, and that's not in a overweight way at all, but just a thicker guy. Where Max is really tall, but really thin and athletic. He is,
String beat. Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody really, honestly, I mean, Thigala's a decent sized guy, but I stood out, Stallings, Adam Scott, Max Homa, Scheffler, those guys stood out. Everybody else is like, tiny and at glance, anyway, Thigala's going to be, and Max, I think, are going to hoard up the ownership here at the top. I love the Matsuyama play if we can get in. Let's be honest, there's not a golf tournament that he cannot win. Correct. That has been proven. Yeah. Spencer said it more than ever. If his putter's on, he is the most unbeatable player in the world, period, over everybody. And because he hits it so good, and I agree. I like that. I like that talk out of the gate. 9,000, McNeely, Pendrith, Cam Davis, Davis Riley, Tom Hoagie, Grillo, who I seen you are in love with. Interesting group here. We've got some guys that kind of faded off there at the end in the FedEx Cup race there and didn't play a lot here coming down the stretch. But talent-wise, this is a pretty talented area here. I mean,
we got some informed guys in this.
Yeah, Cam Davis is the real deal. Watch him hit a golf ball. It's the real deal.
Yeah, and Pendrith as well, man. Like he's playing some solid golf. So
he's on the President's Cup, right?
Yeah.
And so we're going to see him on a big stage. That's interesting. I think played pretty well. Maybe in Memphis. Maybe played pretty well. I think.
Last 24 rounds, he's leading this entire field in strokes gained.
Yeah.
Pendrith. So he's dialed in right now.
I like that. Obviously everybody knows the name Davis Riley. He's like he's the honey doll. And me and Joe have pointed this out. And when we look at field, now this is not a overly weak field just by glance. It's not overly strong either. But I'll say this, in fields that are say the bottom half, that's kind of when we like to play Maverick McNeely no matter what the price is. When you have elite players in the field, this tournament would be like Pebble Beach or, we're going to play a Maverick McNeely, but like, say, Riviera, we're not. Okay. Or I say highlight him. When I say play, highlight him. And this is a field that we like him in. Super talented. This field, this 9,000 range is very talented. Would not surprise me if the 9,000 range was the winner, but a very talented area. Probably the weakest, in my opinion, is probably the guy you like, Grillo. I can never have faith in him because his putter's so bad. But you've brought out that he's putted a lot better in the last year. It's actually kind of crazy how much he's improved.
He's playing really well. He's gained putting last 6 events, 20th in the field of the last 24 rounds putting. He's kicking ass, man. He's doing good. And I don't know, he's just balling out, and he balls out as well. Like you said with Mav, it's a weak field. Grillo finished T2 at John Deere and then T2 at the 3M. Yeah. And then 20th and something else at the British or the bigger events. So give him a small field like this or a weaker field. I think he shines, especially when you have to go low. He makes a lot of birdies too.
Right. And actually the Poena factor might bring him back to the field or bring the field back to him, whichever way you want to look at it. It could be an evener with that, Yeah.
He's also won. This is his first event on tour. He won at this course.
Yeah. Well, it was like 5 years ago, right? Or
2016.
Something like that. Yeah.
So it's been a while, but he's playing some good golf. So maybe he can, reminisce a little bit and sneak one out. I've got him as an outright. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Now I'll say this here. Watch Tom Hoagie play a little bit down in Atlanta. He fizzled out last 3 months of the season. We didn't see much or hear much from him, but we know what kind of game he's got, and it fits the mold from the original talk at the beginning of the show about big ball hitters. It fits the mold. I'm not saying he's no. I would not pick him in this group because of the recent form, but in Atlanta he played pretty well, and he fits the mold of the big bomber and can make a lot of birdies. So destroys par fives. 8K range, Gary Woodland, Clark, Wyndham Clark, Alex Noren, Justin Shue, Trey Millinex, Webb Simpson. Who's it? I'm telling you, babe, we're getting these names right. I don't even know their full names. That's sad. And
those are the Corn Ferry guys. Yep.
Yeah. Montgomery, Dietrich, Troy Merritt, McCarthy, Brennan Steele. Brennan Steele I think he might have won 2 times here. I want to say. Yep. I know he won at least once. Yeah, two-time winner.
Yep.
Yeah, back to back. Streaky player. Oh, Maverick Manili, runner up last year. Interesting. Who's spotlighting you here?
The top Corn Ferry guy in this range is that Taylor Montgomery guy, and he's got some upside, boy. He can ball out. He hits the ball well, and he can putt lights out too, apparently. So from what I've looked at, him and Justin Saw they rightfully deserve to be in this 8K range, and they got some talent, those 2 kids, and it's going to be fun to watch him. And Montgomery's kind of got that Scotty Scheffler vibe about him. You know, I don't know. I mean, you don't want to call someone Scotty Scheffler, but it seems like he can easily ascend up be one of the top Corn Ferry guys.
Yeah, I see that. Finished top 10 in half the events he played last year. More than half you take the U.S. Open out.
Yeah. Didn't he make the cut at the U.S. Open too, I think?
72, 73. I was just looking at that. So missed it.
You just missed it then.
Yeah. One shot. Justin Sue, I mean, he was given the same road that Colin Morikawa was, the same. I mean, he was expected to be the stud, I think maybe if he had graduated 1 year later with the PGA university stuff, we might already heard a lot more about him. Now we've obviously heard about him, don't get me wrong, but would have heard a lot more. Rising stud. I'll be honest, the Trey Mullinex is interesting. Nearly, what was he, first man out, second man out of the Tour Championship, coming out of nowhere, wins in the
Arbisol?
Yeah, but he won the Kentucky one, didn't he? Where he won the Kentucky one that was opposite of the Scottish Open, which then got him into something else, which got him into something else, which got it. And they almost makes the Tour Championship, like 34th or whatever. And
he's playing good, man.
Yeah,
really good golf.
He bombs it, by the way.
He does.
He was on the team, I'll say he was a freshman whenever JT was at Bama. I think he played with all these Bama guys. I think he bridged the gap between the Bama guys on tour, that we see. Maybe the Riley.
Yeah, he's playing better than Davis right now, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's played great over the last 3 months. And I mean, super talented guy, bombs it. He would be my guy here. A lot of these guys have name recognition. I think right here in this 8K range, just stay away from the name recognition and go with purely what it says on paper. And Byron, you've already pointed out that. So 7K range, too many names to mention as usual. We still have a ton of just names here that we know, and really don't get into the heavy guys that you wrote your article about till we get down to 6K. So I'm gonna let you take over there. But here in the 7K range, a lot of names we know, a lot of guys that we think might be on the way out. One name we heard last year in a splash or two, Chris got her up at 7,100. This is Alex Smiley. He's a bomber.
Stuart Sink. He's won this tournament as well.
He won it 2020, I think. Yeah. That was in his 2-win season, I believe. Mm-hmm. Had a little bit of a down year, or I would say inconsistent year, not a down year last year, an inconsistent year. He was helter-skelter. Cameron Champ.
He hits it into like water a lot, Stuart Sink. So I think this course doesn't have too much water. I think he's going to
work. Cam Champ, former winner here. We like Chris Kirkland. People like a lot of birdies, but this course might not be perfectly set up for him, but we like him on any course where birdies going to be a thing. And I'm actually going to have to pull a pin out of Spencer's playbook. Jason Day has shown some life, not consistency, but some life. And if he continues to practice, this would be a place that would make sense, right? Bomb the driver, make some birdies. So 7K range, take it away, Byron.
Cool. So we got Michael Kim, $6,900, or 6K or 7K.
Still 7K. Name a few guys you like in the 7K, and I'm just gonna turn off my mic and listen to the 6K range.
Yeah. I like Jason Day a lot. Wyndham Clark's also another guy just at the top of the 8K. Wife's coming home, so dog's gonna start barking. Where's mom? And then we're gonna have Ches Reavie, who's gonna be quite popular. I think he's gonna do good stuff. Ches is a nice guy. And then Michael Gligic is also someone who's really going in the right direction. Loves himself some par fives. And Mark Hubbard also just a ball striking machine who can roll some putts in. Played well at this course before too. And then I think Callum Tarrant's also someone that's been really popular. I think he's also got the nukes off the tee box. Some good stuff there. And then I'm a big fan of Brendan Todd for some reason. He totally goes against that bomber narrative, but he can putt lights out, and he's pretty steady when it comes to ball striking. So if he can get on the greens and just kick some ass with the putter, life's good for him. And then Matthew Neesmith, I'll give you one more name over there. He's another guy towards the bottom that I like. So
yeah, Matt Neesmith he seems to show up in the tournaments where there's a lot of birdies made, a lot of like we said, less than strong field, and here, I mean,
what do you think of Harris English? Do you think he's going to get healthy soon, or
done? I don't know. Because Harris English ain't on the live tour. I don't know. 24 months ago, we were thinking this guy's getting ready to be a top 10 player in the world, and basically went to almost not mattering. Obviously there's the injury thing going on. What about Luke List? Does he fit the mold here?
Well,
it kills par five.
I don't know how many. I don't know, man. I don't like the lack of putting.
Yeah,
he does not putt often enough for me to play him. So I can't get behind him at all.
I wonder. Yeah, to him it makes me think like the winner of this tournament shoots 20 under, and he shoots 19 under and shoots over par the last day, or something like that. You know, on the easy golf.
Yeah, I don't see him making enough putts. I don't think it's going to matter because he hits it far, so he's going to be hitting wedges with everybody else too. So I just don't see him making that many birdies. I don't know. I might be very wrong, but no. He putts really bad. It's not like he just putts okay.
Yeah.
And a little bit bad. Like he putts. He can just bad. It's very bad.
I agree. So 6,900 or 69 and below, 6K range. I'm gonna leave it with you here.
Michael Kim and Robbie Shelton, two Corn Ferry guys. Michael Kim, man, he's back on tour again, and he's been rounding into some serious form. If you look at how he played on the Corn Ferry tour, I think he missed a bunch of cuts early in the year, and then his game has just been firing the last little while. So he's really getting into some form. If he can bring over that Corn Ferry stuff to the PGA Tour, we know what he can do. Love him. And then Robbie Shelton as well, $6,800. He's going to be a great play. I like his game. He's been playing really, really good golf on the PGA Tour. I think he even won a tournament on there. So he's definitely got that ability to win. And then if you're looking for a bomber, MJ Duffy at $6,800 as well, South African boy, just hits some missiles, man. Just absolutely crushes it off the tee. And he's qualified for a bunch of PGA Tour events on Mondays. And he just goes lights out. So he's definitely worth a sprinkle. No one's ever going to be on him. And then there's a few other guys like this Augusto Nunez. Also just ball, like he's basically the equivalent of like a Colin Morikawa, basically, that's like watered down a bit. Can't putt to save his life, but he's the leading greening regulations guy, I think, on the PGA, on the Corn Ferry Tour. Just hammers the greens, absolutely hammers them. And then one of my favorite, like $6,400 plays is Kevin Roy. He led the Corn Ferry Tour in par 5 scoring, and there's 4 of them on this course. That's where you make most of your birdies. $6,400. Looks like no one's going to own him. If he finishes 5th, then you got him at 0.5% ownership money. Let's go. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for this week is a Corn Ferry Tour guy that I'm on, or 2 land up inside the top 10 and nobody else is on them. And then you just got maybe an Hideki that finishes top 5 as well, and then the rest of your roster just does its thing. But those are the guys I like.
Well, I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, it's all this talent here. How's Austin Smotherman $6,500? I mean, I love his game. That's the only reason why I say that. I mean, bombs it, makes a lot of birdies. Played, what he finished barely inside the 125, I think last year, maybe like 123, 120 after all the people got ditched with the live.
Yeah, it's the short game. That's just he's like Luke List with it. Just whenever he needs to get up and down, he just can't. So he's definitely worth a sprinkle, but he's one of the more popular guys down here. But
that is very true. I didn't think about that. His ownership's probably going to be pretty decently high for a 6K guy, right?
Yeah, and people know his name too, because if you were watching the PGA Tour, he was that guy that would have changed that one cut. If he made a birdie or a par, I think he would have kicked out like 19 guys that were sitting on the bubble, and then he bogeyed. He missed the cut, and a whole bunch of guys came in. So I think he owes a lot of people. They owe him a lot of whatever he likes. So
okay, let me ask you about one player in particular. We were on him for about a year, and it never came to fruition other than one tournament. He was basically forgotten about. He was once held as like this is the next guy. Went back to the Corn Ferry Tour. It seems like here in August, coming down the stretch, just murdered it. Top five, first place. And then, closing out, just did what he had to do to close out. Bombs it off the tee, puts it okay, chips it and hits it good, though. Will Gordon, the forgotten man, the forgotten Vandy guy. 6,900. I mean, me and Joe went on this like tear. We talked about him every week. It was almost embarrassing because he was like, there ain't no way this guy's 6,400 this week, because his talent is so high.
Yeah.
Is he popping it off for you?
Yep. He's popping, boy. Big time. He's also one of the guys that's played really well towards the end of the season. He won that second playoff event, hits it a country mile, makes a decent amount of birdies, hits a bunch of greens. I love him.
Yeah, basically knocks it on every par 5 and 2 that he ever plays on. There's a lot of par 5 out there. It's safe when he plays it. I'm not saying get it in the hole, but I mean that's a huge advantage, right? I mean, because he hits it so good and so far. That's
yeah, he's really good, and he dialed it up. I mean, if you look at the beginning of his year, it was not good at all.
Yeah,
so if you're looking at a big year's worth of sample, no one's going to know he played that well. But if you look at the last while, he's one of the top guys. I mean, geez, 5 top 5s in the last 10 events, which is ridiculous. That's like really good, man. So he's got it.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm just going to go through that now. You got your dartboard out. You're hitting a long shot. Who are you throwing it at?
The dart is going to be, what's the magic number here? I'm going to go.
Just anything.
Michael Kim. Let's go.
Kim. He's a California boy, San Diego guy. Missed like 45 cuts in a row on tour or something ridiculous, or 40 out of 45 cuts.
Yeah.
Went back down, played great last year. I like that.
What about you?
I mean, I want to pick one of these guys that I know, but everybody would know him then. I mean, as far as long shot. Michael Kim, 120 to 1, 150 to 1. Okay. Huge advantage playing the par 5s. Huge advantage, right? Because I mean,
I mean,
I want to say Grayson Sig, but he's not a par 5 specialist. But he can make he makes a ton of birdies. I'm just gonna go with the name I said. I'm gonna go with I wanted to go with Will Gordon, but God, he's let me down so many times in my life.
Go back to the well, my man. It's a new season. It's a new fresh start. I think that should be your hard play, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna say I like your Kevin Roy talk. You can find him at almost 300 to 1. That's pretty good. I like that. I like that talk. He bombs it.
Or even what's like a top 10, probably plus 500, plus 1,000, maybe.
Yeah, I can look that up. I mean, I got here at my fingertips. Kevin Roy. Kevin Roy, yeah. Top 10, 23 to 1.
I mean, that's better than like the top 5 get the 5 guys on the top of the leaderboard. So
yeah, 7.5 to 1, top 20. Well, you know what's weird about top 10 bets is that like you feel really good, you're in third place, and like he makes a bogey on the third on 2 of the last 3 holes and finishes 14th.
Yeah.
Worst beat ever though was I can't think of his name, Brian
Harmon.
No, the right-handed guy. It was a big long shot, top 40 play, and he was in third place. Shoots like 80 on the final round.
Oh, Jesus.
It was in the Mexico tournament, one of the Mexico tournaments. Isn't there 2 in Mexico now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was one of them. I can't think of his name. Oh well, don't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's I'll say Kevin Roy. You say who was it you went with
Michael
again?
Kim.
Michael Kim.
Yeah.
Michael Kim.
Okay. Some Michael Kim action.
Okay. So, but deep down in your heart, we call this the heart play here on the Turner Golf Podcast. Who do you think's going to win, Model?
Emiliano Grillo. It's his time. It's go time. I think he goes back for the repeat, the 2-peat. Goes and hunts down that second one at the same course again. He's playing good enough golf. He's got all the tools in his bag. If he hits enough greens, don't have to worry about the around the green nonsense. This guy can make birdies, hits it a long way, hits it accurately, can get the irons dialed in, can get hot. So I like him. And he's 40 to 1. 40 to 1 in this field.
Yeah, that's pretty good in this field.
Yeah. He's 40 to 1 everywhere, too.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I'm going to go something. I think Jason Day's going to win this tournament.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if we can play all 4 rounds, he wins this tournament. There's no doubt he's practicing. They've been practicing. He wants to play good golf again, I think. He's got some of that personal stuff behind him just from the talk on the Twitter space, which really means nothing. But he's going to have to go, let's be honest, he's going to have to go through Matsuyama and Cam Davis, Maverick McNeely to get there, right?
Emiliano Grillo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But what's this is like, I'm looking here on if you look at some of the stuff on data golf, in real odds through strokes gained, Day is a less of a long shot than Thigala to win. That's crazy, isn't it?
Wow, that is weird.
Huh?
That is weird. Yeah, but I mean, I can see it. But also,
Thigala hasn't won, right? I mean,
no,
wildly inconsistent. Thigala, 63.
When he gets in the mix, he kind of gets himself out of the mix somehow. But
I'm gonna throw a little salt shaker out there for you. Cam Davis, 60 to 1 first round leader.
Yes,
that is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
There's some big spikes here on that first round leader out of the gate. All right, Maniac, thank you for coming on tonight. We'll get out of your hair. You have put in the hours this week. We appreciate everything you do. Rotoballer.com, best place in the world for daily fantasy needs. Thank you. Check them out. They're dropping all kinds of football content. Moving over to the Discord group, and the chat is getting lively over there. I live more on there than I do on the Twitter. So it's pretty fun. The ecosystem is picking up quickly over there at the Discord group in Rotoballer, and I'll put that in the show notes on YouTube, and I might tweet it out too. So remember, if you sign up for the premium, use the promo code TURN, TURN, get you a little discount on the year premium package for PGA players. I think it's like $69.99 for the full year. Great deal right now. Heck, we play like 48 out of 52 weeks. It seems like probably won't have an episode show next week because it's President's Cup. And then we're going to get right into the heart of it. Big long year ahead. Thanks again, Joe. Get well soon, buddy. We'll see you soon. Byron, thank you again for coming on. I'm Andrew Putters. You've listened to the Turn Golf Podcast.